Good morning and welcome to the Mayor's Table. I'm Farmington Mayor Nate Duckett, and with me today are my guests, Richard Neely, President of AABC Baseball, and Carol May, the General Chairman of the Connie Mack World Series Association. Thank you both for being here with us today.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
Baseball is obviously an important component of our community. We've built a lot of history around the sport. So I wanted to make sure we took time for our viewers to talk about baseball, talk about a new component that we have with Fracker Baseball, and obviously talk about the importance of the Connie Mack World Series to our community. So Richard, we'll start with you with Fracker Baseball. The season's just ended. This is our second season that we've had Fracker Baseball here. How did everything go this year?
Everything went great. Following up on last year, which is going to be extremely hard, being national champions, but we're shooting for it again. We've qualified for the World Series,
Awesome.
So we're excited to try to duplicate last year. You know, the thing about collegiate baseball is just a little level up from Connie Mack baseball. You've got a lot of kids. Most of our kids are New Mexico kids, and it's great to watch them play, and their college coaches are watching them constantly, so they got to be good kids, which is
Sure.
always a plus. And get a nice cold beverage and a hot dog. There's nothing better than baseball in Farmington on an evening.
Well, you know, 300 days of sunshine, and certainly in summer, this is the place to be here at Ricketts Park to enjoy that type of atmosphere. But Stam Musial Baseball, maybe a lot of people don't know about Stam Musial Baseball, but it is a step up from Connie Mack, collegiate age. Where do they have the Stam Musial World Series?
Stam Musial will be in the Denver area this year.
Okay.
And the thing about Stam Musial is actually the first division that started AABC.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's where we started back in Michigan, in fact. And it's a league that, yes, it's collegiate. We're holding our players purely collegiate, but you can be 19 through adult. You can be an ex-pro player and play in Stam Musial. And we've actually had some ex-pros come in and play against our Frackers so far. So the Strike Zone, for example, we played them and it was a great evening. About 1,500 fans here. Everybody loved the game, and we're going to schedule them at least twice every year from now on because it's great for the city.
Well, that is a big deal. 1,500 fans came out to Ricketts Park for that event, and I know there's been some other things that you've tried to do to get more fans out to our stadium. That is a big component when we're trying to find a lasting solution for having a collegiate age baseball league, is that people come out and actually take notice and come to the park.
Right.
What all things are you guys doing to help grow attendance?
Well, one of the things, it's family oriented. We've got tricycle races, we've got everything that deals with our junior frackers. We have a little over 400 kids sign up for 2 years in a row now to be junior frackers. They interact with the players, they get on the field. They love it. They got heroes, they've got friends, and so we use them to have tricycle races. We've got sack races, we've got water balloon at bats, and roll tire contests. We've got eating contests we've added this year with some adults, which is a lot of fun.
Yeah, I bet it is. Richard, as far as the Future of Frackers go, obviously I'm a huge fan. We want to keep them here in Farmington. But maybe you could talk a little bit about the league that they play in now, where the teams come from that play here. Where do you see that maybe next year?
Right now, last year was all California teams.
Okay.
And this year we've had a couple Colorado teams, a Nevada team, and California teams. We're working very hard. We've been working on it for a year to form an actual New Mexico Collegiate League. We're working with the Academy in Albuquerque, some people in Roswell and Artesia, and that's our goal. Our goal is to get a 6-team league within New Mexico, home and away games, build things so we've got a little inter-city competition, because we know Farmington's the best baseball town, and I want to prove it to them.
No doubt. Very good. Well, I know the city and the part that we play in this, and having Ricketts Park, obviously the great scoreboard that came last year with this new transition into collegiate age baseball. There's a lot of investment that you have put into this community. Mike Diamond and the other owners, we are very appreciative of that. I want to see that grow and blossom into new and good things. So thank you for what you're doing. Now, AABC Baseball is also the home of Connie Mack League.
Right.
And we'll move over to Carol here. Carol's the general chairman for the Connie Mack World Series Committee. This year, Carol, how many years have we had Connie Mack World Series here in Farmington?
This will be our 54th year to be in Farmington.
54 years. How long has the Connie Mack World Series been going?
It has existed since 1959. It was held in a couple other places prior to coming to Farmington, but in 1965 it started here, and we've kept it ever since.
That's awesome. Well, I know as somebody who moved here from Denver, this is actually the first big event that I came to the first summer that I was here. I met my wife actually in the stands here when I was a sophomore in high school, so Connie Mack has a special place in my heart. Last year, we kind of changed the format a little bit of the tournament, and we added pool play to it for the first time. What did that allow us to do?
What that allowed us to do is have a few more teams. It gave all the teams that travel here, you know, it's a pain in the neck to travel here. It costs a lot of money. We don't have, you know, a good interstate system. We don't have trains. Air service is sometimes existent, sometimes not.
Right.
So the teams that go through the trouble of getting here, we like to give them as many games as we can. So pool play guaranteed every team that came here 3 games.
Okay.
And then if you advanced out of pool play, we took the top 2 out of each pool, which gave us 8 last year. And then the Farmington host team joined them, and then we started bracket play 2 days later. So we'll do that again this year. We will have pool play on August 3rd and 4th for 2 days at the sports complex, at Worley Field, and here at Ricketts Park.
Okay.
And then again, the top 2 teams to advance out of each pool, plus an at-large team, plus our host team will go into a 10-team bracket, and that play will begin August 6th on Monday, starting at 9 a.m. here at Ricketts. And from then on, all our games will be at Ricketts.
Wonderful. Any big plans this year for opening ceremonies?
We're going to try and hold opening ceremonies this year. If anybody has a memory of last year, we got rained out, rather substantial rain. In fact, as soon as we called it last year, it started raining harder. So that kind of affirmed in the committee's mind that we did make the right decision to pack it up and go home. So it was kind of disappointing to not have it, but we're going to have the home run derby start at 5:30, and then we're going to have the coaches fungo, which is kind of a competition where coaches kind of play against each other, and it gives their players an opportunity to kind of razz them and kind of joke with them and as they compete for a trophy. And then we will follow that with opening ceremonies at 7:30. So we'll have all the teams out on the field. We'll introduce some of the dignitaries and everywhere that we have a team from, and basically just opening ceremonies. Then we'll go home and get ready for pool play the next morning.
Carol, if I could just add.
Certainly.
Sure.
One thing that we've added this year, I'm on the board of USA Baseball, so I got a little stroke. I don't know if it's worth anything, but it worked. We have a play ball event that's going to happen before the opening ceremonies.
Okay.
And MLB and USA Baseball are coming in to put that event on. It is open to any child from 3 to 12 that wants to come participate. They'll get a t-shirt, they'll get a bat, a ball, and learn and have a great fun to appreciate the game of baseball.
Well, that's great. To add something more to the series, I think it's excellent, especially in regards to the kids. As we're looking at kind of this year's situation, I want to make sure that I address, historically speaking, without a community behind the World Series, it would be hard to do everything that we do for those teams that come in here and making that experience memorable for the players and also for the fans. So I want to make sure I thank all the families out there who have fostered a player, spent a week with them, dedicated to getting them the place, getting them to practice, feeding them, giving them a place to sleep at night. Thank you for that, but there's always a need for more families to foster players. Is that correct?
We always have a need for more families. The foster family program began in 1975, and there are many of us on the committee that believe had that program not been started, we probably wouldn't still be hosting the tournament today. It's one of the major reasons that our tournament is so successful, not only just from the player standpoint, but financially. I mean, when you talk about putting all those players up in a hotel room for that many nights, it can be a rather substantial cost. So without the support of the foster families and also the businesses that financially support us, you know, Chick-fil-A is our national sponsor this year. Many other sponsors, many other volunteers. The committee that we have is all volunteer. And I think a lot of people may not realize that. For 54 years to keep a volunteer enthusiasm going that strong is just amazing for this community.
Well, I like the fact too that there's a strength in that board because there's succession planning in place and people are there for a long period of time. Mm-hmm. It's not just a one and you're done type deal. You're kind of committed into that. So I certainly appreciate that dedication as well. Now, on top of people who are fostering the players, giving them a place to stay, feed them, we also have volunteers, the runners, for example, here, and we are always looking for runners each year. What other places could people, if they were interested in volunteering time for this event, which I think we talked earlier before we came on camera, this is the 4th longest event in New Mexico, ongoing event in New Mexico, is that correct?
Correct.
That's amazing. But where could people go to find out how they could volunteer to help out the Connie Mack World Series?
One thing we're always in need of is seating ambassadors. They act sort of as ushers in the different, they're called vomitories, which sounds like a disgusting phrase, but that's a technical stadium theater phrase. But we have kind of ushers stationed at every entrance into the seating to make sure that people are in the right spots and help them find their seats if they're new and they don't know where they're going. So we're always in need of those. I know the concession stand is probably in need of volunteer groups. I don't know for a fact. I haven't confirmed that with our concessionaires, but I know we've always used groups in the past, like the Republican Party, the Democrat Party, banks, churches, groups like that.
So, but could they go to the Connie Mack World Series website to find out a lot of this information? They
can go to the website. We also have a phone number. We have an administrator whose name is Carla, and her phone number is 505-320-0496. So if anybody wants any information about the series or if they want to volunteer, she would be a good place to start.
Excellent news. Carol, one last thing I want to touch on has to do with the season ticket holders. How many season ticket holders do we have for the Connie Mack World Series? We
have approximately 1,500 season ticket holders, and they hold among them about a little over 5,000 seats. It's about 5,039.
What's the total capacity of Ricketts?
Well, we have the 5,039 in the reserved, and then we figure there's another 2,000 maybe in general admission and down in section 25.
So I know on some nights when I've been at the stadium, there's been a lot of blue seats that have been empty. And that always brings to mind is if people have bought the seats, obviously we're thankful for their investment into the Connie Mack World Series, but we'd also like to see their seats filled. If somebody's not going to be able to attend a game, or the whole series in general, what can they do with their tickets, and then how can somebody else get a hold of those tickets?
Okay, if they know in advance that they're not going to be able to attend a series, maybe they're taking a child to college or they have a wedding to attend to, and they know they won't be here for the whole week, they can contact the ladies at the Recreation Center and say, I want to keep my tickets, I just don't want them this year. And they will hold them and make them available for somebody else, but that original owner will still be able to pick it up next year. So we encourage anyone that knows they're not going to be here for the series to let us know. On a given night, if you know you're not going to be able to attend, we always encourage you to give tickets to friends or family, other family members or whatever. If you will call that phone number I gave earlier, 320-0496, and let us know. Or the best way is just if you can come down and drop them off at the ticket booth before the game and let somebody else have an opportunity to have those tickets. We have so many people from out of town that see all those empty blue seats that you referenced and want to know why they can't sit there, and they don't always understand. We have sold out every ticket in the stadium for the last 20 plus years, so it's really difficult. If you know you're over Connie Mack or maybe you're elderly and you just can't climb to the top of the stadium anymore, give up your tickets, please, so we can turn them over to upcoming generations and new people that are coming to town so that everyone can have an opportunity to enjoy the series.
Okay, because there's a lottery that it basically goes into, right? Because is there a waiting list right now of people looking for season tickets?
We don't keep a waiting list, but we do a lottery at the end of the series. Anybody that hasn't picked up their tickets by August 11th, which is the last day of the series, will forfeit their rights to those tickets, and they may become available for the lottery.
Okay. Well, that's good information. Well, Richard and Carol, I really appreciate you taking the time today to talk about these two exciting things that we have going on for baseball here in the city of Farmington. Be sure to, if you haven't already got your tickets or make plans to come out for the Connie Mack World Series, do so. And then next year, let's get more people out to the ballpark for Frackers baseball. Enjoy an evening out here at a cold beverage and a hot dog and this great summer sun. So thank you again for joining us, and we'll see you next time right here on the Mayor's Table.